Ladies and gentlemen, fight fans all around the world, let's talk some boxing. So you know we're looking at predicting fights, if they're exciting, boring, or if they are competitive, a mismatch, right? And we're looking at the third fight on the card with ESPN2 Boxino, okay? That's going to be John Thompson versus Stanislav Skorokhod, which is a super welterweight fight. Before I go on, let me just repeat the 7 criteria that is useful in discovering if a fight will be competitive or what it will be, and even predicting the winner of a fight. We look at the 7 criteria, which are styles, skills, weight, record, ranking, history, and level of opposition. Okay? When we look at John Thompson, he's had 15 wins, 5 by knockout, 1 loss by knockout, and Skorokhod, we realize he has 9 wins, 7 by knockout. He's undefeated, right? So let's get into it. First thing I have to mention is the loss by John Thompson. And he lost to a guy called Frank Galazar, and you're about to see how he got lost. He made a mistake, and that was all she wrote. Okay? Now, when we move on with John Thompson, we see that his style is a orthodox boxing style. It's pretty basic. He keeps a sort of high guard. He uses the jab. He sizes up his opponent. He has a good height. He's 6'1". And basically, you can see here, he circles his opponent, who's also had a loss by knockout. And the guy's name here is Ricardo Pinell. And Pinell has more of the sort of, utilizes sort of the shoulder roll. They sort of use the Philly shell defense there. Whereas John Thompson, he's more orthodox in his fighting style. Okay? So, that's basically John Thompson. Let's look at Skorokhod. Skorokhod, this is him versus Michael Moore. And Skorokhod, he has more of the European style. He keeps the high guard. He has a wider stance. He has a more squared stance as well. He's fighting a southpaw here in Michael Moore. And as you can see, he makes use of that beautiful left hook. He just used the left hook. There it is again. Now he's distracting Moore to catch him with some shots. Uses the peekaboo defense with the earmuffs. And whoa, there it is. Caught him with the left hook again. So the left hook seems to be his major weapon. Alright? So we've looked at Skorokhod. You look at their styles. Move on to their skills. I think the sharper of the two is actually John Thompson, okay? John Thompson's actually the more sharper fighter, but the more skilled fighter, I can't say. Skorokhod, he was on a big layoff, so when he started to get on a roll, you know, he was able to knock out Michael Moore. He made use of his left hook mostly to really get Michael Moore, and he had very good timing. John Thompson, as I said before, he's kind of more of an orthodox fighter. Nothing very extremely special about him. He's pretty sharp with his jab, though, and he follows everything off of his jab. So, bearing that in mind, when we look at their skills, I think they're about evenly matched. Their styles, more European style is Skorokhod, whereas Thompson's style is more just basic orthodox fighting. Okay, the basic boxing style with a wide stance. When we look at their weight, both of them are around about the same weight. Their records, and that's why I'm looking at John Thompson's record. Well, we already know he's not really a knockout puncher. Okay, he's not a knockout puncher. In his 15 fights, he only had 5 fights by knockout. So this works in Skorokod's favor. He's more of the knockout puncher. As you can see, he has 9 fights here, and he's had 7 by knockout so far. So he also has not tasted defeat, whereas Thompson has tasted defeat. In terms of level of opposition, nothing much to say. Most of these guys have fought local competition. Okay, then they moved on to a higher level, and they, well, in this case, Thompson, he lost when he stepped up in level. When we look at Skorokhod, he is ranked higher than Thompson. He's 73. Thompson is 131. Again, like I said, it's mostly mostly localized competition. So this guy's from the Ukraine. He mostly fought Ukrainians. His first international fight was against Michael Moore and David Lopez. Okay, so but he is ranked higher, and rightfully so. So in a gist, let me sum up. I think that Skorokhod will either knock out John Thompson, even though John Thompson is much more skilled than Michael Moore. I think he knocks out John Thompson with that left hook, because John Thompson, he was stunned with a straight right by Salazar, but what knocked him out completely was a left hook. Okay, and it just so happens Skorokhod is really good at throwing that left hook and that overhand right. So I think John Thompson is going to be tested to see if he can move a level up against Skorokhod. Will this fight be exciting? Well, it's going to be semi-exciting. It's going to be one in which Skorokhod, he's going to be trying to set up his left hook to knock out John Thompson. And basically, John Thompson, he doesn't have much knockout power, so he's going to just be looking to box Skorokhod. So Thompson's going to be on the back foot, Skorokhod is going to be on the front foot. Even though Skorokhod is more of a boxer than a pressure fighter, he's going to intelligently walk down Thompson, and he's eventually going to get him. So that's what I think about this fight. Is it going to be an exciting fight? Well, in some respects it's going to be exciting. In some respects it's going to be pretty much a boring, dull fight as well. But will it be competitive? I don't think so. So that's basically it. Even though these guys are evenly matched, the history of the fighter tells me that John Thompson is probably going to get knocked out, because it's a similar fighter like Frank Salazar. And if he can overcome and not get knocked out and even win that fight, it would mean he has overcome his problems against Mike Salazar. That's my wrap on this. You guys have a great one.